Request for emergency debate. The honourable member for Courtenay Albertine.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to propose an emergency debate on the urgent need for the federal government to address the domestic violence against the Mi'kmaq fishers in Nova Scotia and their constitutionally affirmed right to fish, as confirmed by the Marshall decision in 1999 to earn a moderate livelihood through fishing. With increased incidents of domestic terrorism, I believe this meets the bar of Standing Order 52, Section 6A, that the matter proposed be of genuine emergency, calling for immediate and urgent consideration. The debate has become urgent and must take place tonight due to the government's inadequate response to this crisis. As parliamentarians, we must take immediate action to protect the constitutionally enshrined rights of Mi'kmaq fishers and make sure that they're kept safe from ongoing threats and acts of violence. We must ensure the federal government is taking immediate action to provide justice for the Mi'kmaq victims of violence. And lastly, we must make sure this government is at the table protecting the human rights of the Mi'kmaq people and their right to fish for a moderate livelihood, as was affirmed 21 years ago. The right was already determined in the Marshall case in the 1952 treaty. Given the urgency for a peaceful and equitable resolution to this crisis, I believe it is important to hold an emergency debate in Parliament today. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
On the same issue, we also have the Honourable Minister of Fisheries, Oceans and Canadian Coast Guard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as you are aware, myself, the Minister of Crown and Indigenous Relations, the Minister of Public Safety, and the Minister of Indigenous Services submitted our notice of intention to request an emergency debate regarding the recent increase in violence around the fishery in Nova Scotia. Canadians are concerned about safety and security, and I am indeed working with my colleagues to lower tensions and create the space necessary for collaborative dialogue. Reconciliation is a Canadian imperative, and we all have a role to play. That means ensuring that parliamentarians from all parties are part of this conversation. I support the request for an emergency debate on this very important matter. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I thank the honourable members for their interventions. I'm prepared to grant an emergency debate concerning fisheries in Nova Scotia. This debate will be held later today at the ordinary hours of daily adjournment.